saw in that entire sequence was shot on this. This is the Insta360 X5, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I captured each shot step by step so that you can create a sequence just like this. I'm in sunny Los Angeles today with a Ford Mustang, the perfect combination for some epic car shots. A big thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Now let's jump straight in with shot number one. The POV, or point of view perspective. Minimal effort, maximum effect with this shot, and it literally puts the audience in the driving seat, creating an immersive and cinematic experience. Now for this, you'll need to get your camera around about eye level, and the best mount to do this is the neck mount. It gives a really great perspective without getting in the way. I've tested head mounts, mouth mounts, which just look ridiculous, and the neck mount delivers the best results with minimal fuss. As always, all gear and accessories used in this video will be linked in the description below. Now remember, the beauty of shooting in 360 is that you can get more than one shot from each clip. For example, if I place the camera in the middle of the road, I can now frame the shot however I like. So if I drive over the camera like this, we now have endless possibilities with this one clip. We could have a shot driving towards the camera, we could have a shot driving away, we could turn and flip the camera as it drives over, all of that from just one clip. Now I'm out on the Crest Highway today, which is a beautiful stretch of road up in the hills of Los Angeles. It's quiet, scenic, and perfect for capturing smooth cinematic shots. And that's another key to capturing a great sequence like this. You want to try and find a stretch of road which is nice and quiet. You don't want busy built-up areas with lots of traffic. Also remember, you don't need to capture these shots in chronological order. In fact, I'd highly recommend that you don't. I tend to shoot the easiest, safest shots first and then leave the risky ones till last. Essentially, first get what you need and then get what you want, because you're going to be putting your camera in some pretty risky situations, and the last thing you want to have happen is your camera to fall off and get smashed on your very first shot. So let's start with some safer shots and build up to the riskier stuff. One of my favorites is the steering wheel shot. This shot creates a very unique movement where the camera rotates with the steering wheel. For this, you'll need to clamp your camera directly to the steering wheel. I like to use this clamp here because it's made of metal and it's super sturdy. Try to line up the camera with the center of the steering wheel for that satisfying symmetry. Also in the edit, be sure to turn stabilization off for this shot. This bit's important. With stabilization on, the shot will keep a level horizon, but with stabilization off, the camera will move with the steering wheel. I'm shooting everything in 8K 30 frames per second today, and I'm editing all of these shots in the Insta360 Studio app, which is free editing software. I will link it below. Now, if I had to choose just two accessories for capturing an epic car sequence, then hands down, it's the triple suction cup and an extension pole. Nothing comes closer in terms of versatility and impact. So if you're looking to level up your car shots without going overboard on gear, then these are the two that I would recommend. The triple suction cup lets you mount your camera securely anywhere on the outside of the car. Bonnet, door, boot, or trunk, as they like to call it in America, you name it. It opens up angles that you just can't get with handheld shots or interior setups. I've used so many suction cups over the years to attach cameras to cars, and this one is by far the best. Do not bother with these flimsy suction cups. I've used these before and had cameras fall off the car, and trust me, it is not pretty. Then there's the extension pole, or the invisible selfie stick. This little piece of magic creates the illusion that someone else is filming you from the outside of the car. The selfie stick is then automatically removed from the shot by Insta360's smart in-camera trickery. So in the edit, it looks like you've got a camera operator or a drone following you whilst you drive, when really it's just your 360 camera on a pole stuck to your car. Now, pros and cons of the triple suction cup. Well, the pro is that it's super strong, sturdy, and won't let you down. The downside, however, is that it's quite big, and for some shots facing the car, the suction cup is going to be visible. So if you want to remove the suction cup from your shot, there are two ways to go about it. The first is to do it yourself using editing software. Adobe After Effects has a feature called Content Aware Fill. This feature analyzes the footage and does a pretty solid job of removing objects like suction mounts. Only problem is, though, it's only available through Adobe's paid subscription, and you'll need to know your way around the software. The second, and quite frankly easier option, is just to get someone else to do it. You can hire a video editor on platforms like Fiverr, and they'll clean it up for a decent price. That's what I did because I don't use Adobe Premiere Pro. I finalized my edit first with the mount visible, then exported just those few seconds that needed cleaning up. This only cost me $20, saved me a $30 a month subscription fee and a massive headache. Totally worth it. Also, I used a ton of other editing tricks in the final sequence. I will do a full editing tutorial on 360 videos soon, but for now, let's just focus on how to capture your shots. Take this exhaust shot, for example. There was no obvious spot near the exhaust to mount the camera, so I stuck the suction mount near the fuel cap and used the extension pole to position the camera close to the exhaust. Now, another tip here is to use your phone with the Insta360 mobile app as a monitor as well as a remote. So with the camera on the outside of the car, you can now monitor the shot from inside. You can check the framing and start recording, all using your phone. This saves you having to keep jumping in and out of the car to stop and start recording, a real time saver. Now, I've been lucky today, no accidents, camera is safe and sound, and that's mainly due to this triple suction cup. For the slightly more riskier shots, I've been using these lens guards for a bit of extra protection. Now, historically, if you scratch the lens of your 360 camera, that was it. Not too much you can do about that apart from send it off and get it fixed, which is costly and very frustrating. But with the X5, Insta360 have now introduced replaceable lenses. So if your camera takes a hit on a shoot and the lenses get scratched, you can just swap them out, way less stress, way more peace of mind. Also, speaking of improvements and upgrades from the X4, the X5 now has a much larger sensor, increased by 144% with a triple AI chip. It has much better battery life, up to 185 minutes, faster charging, and much better low light capabilities. I'll show you some footage that I shot at night through the streets of LA towards the end of this video. Now, another really important part of creating a sequence like this is engine sounds. These are what are going to really help level up the final sequence. For example, here are 3 shots without engine sounds. Now here's those same clips with engine sounds. As you can see, it makes a huge difference, but how do we capture these? Well, the first thing you're going to need is some kind of wireless microphone. The one that I like to use is this one here, the Hollyland Lark M2. A few reasons I like to use this microphone. The first is that it's incredibly small and you can attach it pretty much anywhere. The second is that they come with these really good wind muffs that cover the microphone and prevent that horrible distorted wind sound, crucial when attached to a fast-moving vehicle. And the third reason is that these microphones are magnetic, so they can be easily attached to a car. You can just crack the bonnet and magnetically attach the microphone pretty much anywhere you like. Bonus tip, find a quiet stretch of road where you can safely accelerate from 0 to 60 quickly, record the engine sounds, and then use those sounds throughout the sequence to add more depth. In the edit, if the speed doesn't look fast enough, you can add some drama by speeding up your clips. Around about 140% usually works well. Don't overdo it though, or it will just look unnatural. A combination of faster shots and engine sounds can make a huge difference in the final edit. Now, here are some more creative ideas for your 360 car videos, and the first one is the top-down shot. For this, I'm going to use the Insta360's 3-meter long extension pole, and I'm simply going to wedge it between the driver's seat and the armrest like this. Again, I can monitor this shot using my phone from inside the car. And remember, with a lot of these shots, you're not just capturing one angle, you can get multiple shots from one single clip. Plus, you can add movement in the edit. For example, instead of just a static top-down shot, try adding a tilt up by using keyframes. Keep it simple or go wild. Rotations, pans, whatever you want. When you're shooting in 360, you've got all the flexibility, so make the most of it. Now, some of you might have spotted this shot here of my foot hitting the accelerator dropped into the final sequence. Super easy to pull this off and adds a nice bit of drama. And no, you don't even need to be driving for this shot. With the car in park, I simply placed the X5 on the floor, framed it up using my phone, hit the accelerator, then added a bit of camera shake in the edit to dial up the intensity. Now, the key to any great sequence is a good variety of shots. So we've attached the camera to ourselves, we've attached it to the car inside and out. Now let's place it on the side of the road for a drive-by. I do have to be a little bit careful here because the locals have warned me about black bears, mountain lions, and cougars, so I don't want my back turned setting up this shot for too long. Now, with the camera positioned nicely at the roadside, I can now drive past and unlock even more options in the edit. I can simply drive by for a shot that focuses more on the landscape, or pan with the car as it passes for a more cinematic, scenic feel. Or how about this shot here, capturing a reflection in the wing mirror? Plenty of options with a shot like this. You could keep it simple and static. You could add a zoom in, a rotation, or a pan to the driver. Endless possibilities when you're shooting in 360. Now, I've been blessed with some beautiful weather for today's shoot. Plenty of sun, loads of light. But if this was an overcast day or a night shoot, most 360 cameras would struggle, but not the X5. It now has pure video mode built specifically for low light. I've actually tested this whilst driving through the streets of LA at night, and the footage holds up, clean, detailed, and genuinely usable. Normally wouldn't touch a 360 camera after dark, but this is a game changer. So you now have all the knowledge that you need to go out and shoot a car sequence just like that. If you're looking for a 360 camera, then the X5 is a great option. I will link it in the description below. And if you'd like to learn more about shooting with 360 cameras, then be sure to check out these two videos here. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.